Happy Friday. We're going to jump right in. It's your bond market time right here. You guys can see, still inside of this pattern. If you can't see it that well, there you go. Now you can see that we're just bouncing inside of here. There is still the head and shoulders pattern that is coming down that you may fill that price target. It would be best if it just broke up out of this pattern, because then we would be above a giant moving average, the yellow line, and then we can keep swinging up. Bad for everything else though. Don't worry, because bond market, the big one. And whatever shakes up in there can shake up the smaller markets. Here's your 2-year yield. Looks like you guys tried to break down out of this pattern. Too bad, found support, so you guys are still inside of this pattern, waiting for a direction to break out of. Here we go with the 10-year yield, your inflation indicator. You guys tried to break down out of it. Looks like you're retesting against the giant moving average. If you get rejected, then this bearish pattern will most likely play out to the downside, which the price target would look like right over here, because I don't like my price targets being way too big. And then drag it on over, and you can see we just come down and retest this giant moving support line that goes back years and years ago, with the benefit of deflation. Here's your S&P 500. You guys broke down out of the pattern. This is what you could consider a retest. You are retesting the pattern currently and seeing if you can roll over and go down further. You guys are above the giant moving average, so there is not a lot of support to the downside. It's just this little pullback. This can pull back even more, but we will see. Only if this recent candle gets rejected, then we can say most likely you will pull back a little bit more, or you could just bottom out right here. We will see in the coming future. Here is your NASDAQ, and would you look at that? You guys came down. Sweet pullback. You guys are above the giant moving average, getting close. You guys are retesting your pattern. If you break into the pattern, then most likely you will keep going up if it holds. It will have to break into the pattern and then come back down, retest, and then go higher. Same with the S&P 500. Here, just the pullback. Now you guys are heading back up a little bit. All normal things in the price action. We will just see if you get rejected next week and then continue the pullback, or if this is all it will pull back and try to go higher again. And try to beat the highs all the way up here. One right there, one over here. We will see. Here's your Dow Jones Industrial Average. You guys can see you guys broke up out of the pattern, fell back into the pattern, and then blasted through the roof today. You guys can see your breakout did pretty much fill the price target, so cool. The expected move. We will see next week if it just curls back down over or not, but you guys are very close to that price target of 502.81 cents. And we will see if you guys hit it. Here is your Bitcoin. Now you guys are like, oh, what happened to your pattern that played out so nicely? Well, if you zoom out, we have some bigger ones in play right now. You have this giant rising wedge here. I'll make it clearer if we delete this one and delete this one. If we delete those two, you can see the giant pattern better. This one had a price target of about 57,742. You guys can see we got pretty close at 59,837 going off the wick of the candle. So very, very close price prediction. And this was drawn way back. Probably like back over here. Back in April, this pattern was drawn. And it's playing out. Cool. Now, the new pattern, it's the new guy. It's right here. You guys can see giant head and shoulders pattern. You guys had the right shoulder put in with that pattern that broke out last week and then played out to my price target. That was also making the right shoulder of this head and shoulders pattern. And this head and shoulders pattern wants to go all the way down to 47,000. Will it hit there? It might. There's just this range over here of a whole bunch of support and resistance right here. on Bitcoin where you will most likely find support in there. This is like an accumulation zone right here. This is where a lot of people have buys and all that to try to accumulate Bitcoin so when it reverses, they get a gain. That's all for Bitcoin. Here's your XRP. Same thing as Bitcoin. You guys have the giant head and shoulders pattern. You guys did break out of it a while ago. I did say you would most likely go lower. I also said you would probably just bounce in this channel. And if you break down out of the channel, then it just falls faster. And over here, you guys broke down out of the pattern. Currently retesting. If you guys break back into the pattern and find support in here, then it'll most likely just keep bouncing in here, hit this top line. Otherwise, you will see XRP go down to 8 cents, 86 cents, sorry. And if it plays out to the complete head and shoulders pattern, you'll see it at 18 cents. So 86 cents and 18 cents. Those are your two targets. We will see if XRP comes and hits them. Here's your gold. Nothing much really going on. Just came down, bounced off of this line, came up, and now it's going to go ahead and probably make a pattern here that we can trade off of. Here's your silver. It tried to break down below out of the pattern, came right back up, and is now on top of the support line again. And we will see if it holds above it. It may just create another pattern we can trade off of, but we will see. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment, say something down there. Make sure to bother your friends with this video. And if you guys have something you guys want me to analyze, I don't mind. Just tell me the name of a stock. I'll go ahead and give you an analysis on it. And I will see you guys next week, Monday.